Welcome to Coffee with Bridget. And today's coffee is Happy Birthday by Java Factory. It's vanilla frosting and yellow cake flavored coffee, and it is yummy. I have to admit, it's really yummy. And I'm drinking it out of my blue butterfly mug. One of the mugs that my daughter insisted I had to have. So, yeah, I did not do Coffee with Bridget on Tuesday. And that was just because I needed a me day. I've been really busy. Like, there's been a lot going on. Balancing a lot of stuff. The girls are home from school. Summer started. And that has been a whole routine that, it threw me off at first, in the first couple of days, because I'm so used to get up, get the girls ready, get them out the door, have 3 hours to myself, then go ahead and, pick them up and do, the rest of the stuff during the day. So not doing that, not having the 3 hours to myself was a little bit difficult. And the girls have been keeping me on my toes. They have been wanting to go on walks in the morning with the dogs and in the evening. So we've been going on morning and evening walks with the dogs, which are a little stressful because the dogs, especially Sparkle, so there's Sparkle and there's Bandit, and they're brother and sister. And Sparkle is the alpha. She is the one that's in charge now. And she is just ballistic when she sees other dogs. She wanted to pick a fight with a pit bull. She ran up to the gate. I had to run up to the gate and grab her and pull her back and be like, no, Sparkle, no. So, when the kids are holding the leash, and the 4-year-old insists on holding Bandit's leash, and Shelly and the 7-year-old insists on holding Sparkle's leash, and it's nerve-wracking because it's like I gotta watch the kids. I gotta make sure they're not doing things. They're not letting go of the dog's lead. Dog runs out into the street, or the dog runs to the gate of someone's house. Oh, it's it's nice to go out for walks, but it's stressful. It's a lot to balance. And then I kind of graduated. I had 10 packages leave on Tuesday, 10 different orders. So I actually called, or I went on the website for the post office and did a pickup. I scheduled a pickup. And oh my goodness, it was like Tuesday, it was like boom, 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 like 5:30, well, about 5:15, I got a message that someone received something that they shouldn't have received because I put the same label on 2 boxes. So they got the box of what they were supposed to get, but they got someone else's box. And they were trying to solve the problem. And they went to the post office with a prepaid label. And then instead of printing it, the post office asked for a QR number. And I did not have a QR code because I printed it already. So it went round and round. I ended up having to mail it to them in snail mail so they could put it on the box and send it. A box that was meant to go to like Northridge, California, went to Midland, Texas. Not a good thing. So I was troubleshooting that. And then I put that in a letter and was going to take it to the mailbox, and I was trying to get the girls to get up and get them dressed and, get their shoes on so we could go to them down the mailbox, because I didn't know how much longer I had till the mailbox people come, the post office person comes. So I just happened to look out the window and see they were outside picking up the packages that I had scheduled. So I'm like, here's the letter. Can you please take it? And they're like, okay, thank you. And I'm like, oh my God, they got out at the right time. I was told the girls, you don't have to worry, keep your shoes off, you're fine. And then groceries came. Both girls insisted they had to have taffy, so I bought them taffy. And then dinner for the night, which was zucchini and squash and hamburger helper. They both like hamburger helper sometimes. So, they don't eat the leftovers, but they'll eat the first serving, which is good. So I fixed that for them. But the groceries arrived. And then right after the groceries, and literally the post office person was right there, and the person for the groceries pulled up right behind them. And then as soon as the groceries guy drove off, another person drove up, and they were here to get the faux pumpkins that I sold, my pumpkins from Halloween. I had 5 pumpkins that were just decorative, and I'm like, I don't know what I'm going to do with that in an apartment, so I decided to sell them, and they sold, and it was interesting. It was one of the hardest things to sell, to be honest. I've sold a few things that were hard to sell. I sold some of my Disney figurines. I was like, okay, I'm going to get rid of my Ariel collection. And then I sold some, and I'm like, no, I'm not going to get rid of the whole collection. So I canceled 2 of them and was like, I'm going to keep these 2 Little Mermaid things that I got at Disneyland to myself. I'm like, I'm going to keep these. So, I went from kind of brutally getting rid of them to like, okay, I'm sentimental. I'm going to keep a couple. I kept Little Mermaid, Flounder, and Ursula. I was like, gotta keep the villain. She was hard to find. Ursula is actually hard to find as a figurine. So, I did that. Let's see, what else sold? Yogi Bear sold. It's going across the United States to someone. This is after someone messaged me that he gives stuffed animals to psychiatric hospitals. He's in Massachusetts, and his aunt used to work for Hanna-Barbera, and so he was really interested in the Yogi Bear. But I'm like, I'm in California, you can't pick it up. He's like, I have no idea where you are. I'm like, yeah, I'm in California. Massachusetts is a little bit far. I did have a Donald Duck sell, and a woman drove an hour and a half to get Donald Duck, the vintage Donald Duck that I sold. So that was like, wow. I have a Mickey Mouse and Minnie that are up for sale, and a giant Pluto that's up for sale. I will not drop the price on Pluto. He's a giant Pluto. He's like $20 is what I'm asking for him. And I'm not going to drop the price on him because he's too expensive and too sentimental for me just to give him away. So, but I moved a lot of books. I had one person literally tell me, you will give me free shipping. And I'm like, I don't know if I'm going to give you free shipping. You got to pay a significant chunk of money if you want free shipping. And they decided to buy a good amount of books. So I was like, okay, I'll make a lot for you and I'll give you free shipping. And the spiritual books seem to be moving more than the fictional books do. I still have a complete series of The Last Vampire by Christopher Pike that hasn't moved but has got a lot of interest. I think people are waiting for me to drop the price on it. I'm not sure I'm going to drop the price too much more. I had someone message me, will you take $15 and I only want 4 books? And I'm like, it's a 6-book series, and no, you're not even asking half. You're not even, you're asking for almost, you're 1/3 of the books, but you're not giving 1/3 of the price. No, I'm not going to break up the set. There's too many people interested. I think it's got 30 views and like 5 watchers, so I'm not going to break up the set. I may drop the price a little bit, but I'm not going to break the set. And then I sold a Laird Scranton set of books that I had. Just ones that I kept one for myself that I really liked. But a lot of them repeat themselves, and I was like, it's time to let these go. So let go of those. It's amazing what's selling and what's not selling. It's really interesting to see what exactly is going and what's not going. But other than that, haven't really been up to much. Just mostly packing up boxes and watching the girls, and yeah, going on extremely anxiety-ridden walks with the girls. Shelly's gotten into some show or a video game that she's watching people play the video game. That's her current thing that she's watching on YouTube. And Katie's being her wonderful, chaotic self that she usually is. She got barbecue sauce and decided to hide the barbecue sauce from me today, take it upstairs, and proceed to spread it all over her room. So I had to clean up barbecue sauce. It was like, oh my God. I'm like, we do not play with food like it's a toy. First it was toothpaste, now it's barbecue sauce. Like, what are you doing, kid? But she just really into playing with any substance that's like a liquid. She's fascinated by it. But that is our episode for today. I hope you enjoyed it. Hope you're all doing well. Take care, and I'll catch you later. Bye.